The San Francisco Unified School District announced they're going to be dropping the word chief from job titles to not offend Native Americans. The word chief is an English word derived from the French word chef, the Latin word caput, meaning like head, leader, like CFO, chief financial officer, head of, in charge. When you become this woke, do facts just fall out of your brain, or were they never there in the first place?
Oh no, somebody doesn't like the fact that I shared historical truth and fact. That hurts their feelings. Well, here's a little tidbit for you. History doesn't change because it hurts your feelings.
Well, let's be perfectly clear here, because as far as I can tell, the temperature must have dropped in hell and a bunch of pigs magically sprouted wings. Because the party that wants nothing more than to throw open our borders to everybody and his brother who can skip across the Rio Grande and has tried to ban just about every firearm under the sun suddenly supports strong borders and national sovereignty and thinks civilians running around with full autos is a great idea.
It's
About
truth.
3 seconds after the Ukrainian government began handing out AK-47s to every man, woman, and 80-year-old grandma who could hold one, liberals watching the bloodshed on Twitter from their couches 5,000 miles away like some bizarre version of the Hunger Games began praising civilians taking up arms against the Russian invasion.
Ain't that the
Because
truth?
suddenly, thousands of untrained residents patrolling the streets with machine guns is totally okay.
What happened in that debate is that Piers Morgan had basically been doing a lot of the things we're talking about. For weeks, he'd been saying after Sandy Hook that anybody who disagreed with him on gun control, the only possible reason to disagree with him is because you don't care about what happened. So what I said to Piers Morgan is I said, you're a bully, and the way that you bully people is you stand on the graves of the children of Sandy Hook to push your political agenda. And he didn't know how to come back from that because that was his entire strategy, and now it had been unmasked. And actually, during the break, he had planned to bring in a kid who'd been shot and was in a wheelchair and say, well, you've said it to me, now say it to this small pool of child. Yeah. And he couldn't do it because if he had done that, I immediately would have said, first you stood on the graves of the kids, and now you're standing on this poor guy's wheelchair. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But it's so that was sort of the content of the argument. He tried to throw the Ronald Reagan was in favor of banning assault weapons at me. I don't care, as I've said, what Ronald Reagan had to say. He's a guy. Sometimes he's right, sometimes he's wrong.
Yeah.
If you're a guy and you don't hold the door open for a woman, you're a piece of shit.
Absolutely, I agree. I generally always will hold the door open for a woman if it calls for it. However, let me give you a little bit of insight into why these things may not happen. So one day I'm about to walk through a door. I open the door, I realise there's a woman behind me. So I stop to let her go through. Instead of just saying thank you, she actually yelled at me. Do you think because I'm a woman I can't open a door myself? At no fucking point did I think that, Linda. But next time you get a door slammed in your face, thank a feminist.
Breaking news, guys. Apparently, teachers are walking out and quitting their jobs over the DeSantis parental rights or don't say gay bill. So I'm here to say thank you. If you have a problem not talking to 5-year-olds about sex and sexual orientation, then you're a predator. We don't want you there. Thank you for leaving. Hey, teachers, leave our kids alone.
And I've been impressed. I've been on a lot of university campuses. Matter of fact, for 4 years, I was a full professor at the University of Pennsylvania. And this is really an impressive place.
We're protesting the climate change rally.
What's the point of the protest?
We're not going to go to school, we're not going to go to work. We're going to protest the climate, and hopefully eventually legislators notice that we care about this and we want change. You should pull up.
What is that going to do?
It's honestly also just very empowering. It's fun. You meet people. You care about the climate?
I do care about the climate. I'm not sure what this does, though.
But does it hurt? What else are you going to do? You feel really good about yourself.
Do you think you do it to feel good about yourself or for the climate?
I mean, I do it for the climate, and an added positive is that you get to feel good about yourself. It's like win-win.
You do it if it was raining?
Oh, no, if it was raining because the signs would get really soggy.
Yeah, but the climate still is effective when it's raining.
No, but activism doesn't take breaks.
You're right.
You know what, in the race, she just didn't win it by much. I think she was 7 seconds behind the fastest race ever for a woman in that race. I think, honestly, she took it easy. She was watching just to stay ahead of the rest of the field to win it. It's a shame. We have to change this right now. There has to be some change. We have to look at it. from that, honestly, I would love, because I don't know what Leah Thomas's intentions were. I would love, Leah, I would love to sit down and have an interview with you, and I want to find out what your intentions are here and what you're trying to do by doing this. Well,
one catastrophe after another. This is incredible that this is going on. While, you know, we fought with Albany to get bail reform, to get guns off the streets, and this is happening on a day like today. It just...
Well, and Rosanna, as you well know, the subway system is like the circulatory system for the human body. It is the pulse of this city, and as people are coming back, you know, we know that people are not working 5 days a week in the office anymore, and city officials want people to come back. Well, in order to get them to come back, they have to be comfortable riding mass transit, and so far that just has not been the case. Crime in transit has been up, and obviously what is unfolding today does nothing to help that.
You're absolutely right.
There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox, and a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to, but the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling.
Waters tells hundreds of homeless people to go home after a housing event in Los Angeles spiraled out of control. Listen to this.
There are no more applications. I want everybody to go home. And I want... We don't got no home. Okay. That's why we here. There's nobody in Washington who works for their people in a harder than I do. I believe you. I don't want to hear it. I believe you. So can we finish though?
Honestly, unbelievable. The New York Post reporting that Waters tried to stop an LA Times reporter from publishing the story about what really happened, telling him, quote, "You'll hurt yourself and the community trying to put this together."
William Thomas, ranked number 462 in men's swimming. Meet Leah Thomas, ranked number 1 in women's swimming. Only one problem. It's the same person. Some people are afraid to talk about it. Not me. I'm Vicki Hartzler. I ran and coached girls track, and I won't look away while woke liberals destroy women's sports. Women's sports are for women, not men pretending to be women. I'm Vicki Hartzler. I approve this message.
They treated us like dirt. And Laura, you know this. I am a liberal Democrat feminist. And I will say now, for the first time ever, that I voted for Glenn Youngkin today for governor of Virginia. And I am going to be so proud to have him as our governor.
That's crazy because I've never met a Republican that wasn't a white supremacist.
I guess I'm white. Does that mean I get a white privilege card now? Yay!
Boycott